see anything. Oh, sorry guys. Good afternoon. George Cavaligos for HFT Bonds. What a kind of crummy day. Kind of followed the game plan except for the big trade of the day. We did see a trade up last night. Went right to those levels. Actually, the 10-year went a little bit further, but the bonds went right to the C equals A objective at 140. What was it? 145.03. I think the high was 04. 10-year, the C equals A target was 131.23 plus, and I think the high was 24. It's pretty close. Close enough, you got to admit, for what we're doing here. Of course, it happened at, I think, like 2 in the morning, and I wasn't awake to take advantage of it. I should have left some orders, maybe. I don't know. Still kind of fighting the bug. Today's the first day I feel good. Thank God. All right, now back to the markets. Choppy. I don't know what to do with this thing. I have kind of an inclination that we should go back and retest those highs from last night at 23, 24 plus and 145.0304. I don't see a real good count right now. The trade today was very choppy, a lot of overlapping stuff. I don't see a clear situation where you have, lower lows or lower highs that I could lean on to give you like some kind of corrective count. I'm just going with the old, okay, we put up those highs last night, we're closing positive, even though we are kind of leaving dojis on the close today. The open and close are very similar levels today. That signals indecisiveness. I'm hoping tomorrow we get back into the plan where the market will trade up into the Fed buyback. It didn't today. Probably should have shorted the market when I was squawking about it on the chat room quite a bit, but I didn't pull the trigger. We should have done the trade. When the market doesn't trade up, when the Fed's buying, there's some underlying problems there. And the underlying problem is we got this massive amount of supply coming this week. Tomorrow's the 3-year auction. I think it's, what, 32 billion in 3 years? Okay. And the Fed's buying 3 billion in 5 years? Now, the flow of the Fed buying is every day. The auctions are not occurring every day, even though there's a lot more supply in the auctions. I think it matters in the short term. The supply is heavy. You need to have some kind of a setup in the market with lower prices, or some kind of big core short position in that sector of the curve for these auctions to get done at decent prices. Otherwise, the market has to go lower to give us what we call the dealer concession for these auctions. I think we're going to see the dealer concession tomorrow. If we don't get the rally tonight on the whatever nonsense that happens overnight like it has the last couple nights, we'll see a bit of a bounce hopefully. I'd like to try and put the short on up against last night's highs and this morning's highs. Tomorrow we do have a buyback in the morning. Fed is buying, like I said previously, they're buying 5 years, 3 to 3.75 billion of 5-year notes. I think that'll help the 10-year. I think it'll help push up the short end of the curve. I don't think it'll help the bonds that much. At the close today, the notes were up 3 ticks, the bonds were up 7. Considering how bad the beating this Treasury market's taken, that's not a great healthy bounce. So keep our eyes open for some kind of a reversal signal, depending on what time frame you're looking at. The 5-minute, 30-minute, 2-hour. You're looking for sell signals over the next day and a half, basically, into the buyback tomorrow morning. I'm hoping we see the buyback bounce tomorrow. Maybe we put on a small short tonight and look for the buyback bounce to add to it. I'm nervous about, like today, we did not see a buyback bounce. I'm not sure why. I think it's the supply problems, but we did bounce after the after the Fed buyback. About an hour after the buyback, we bounced up a little bit. It wasn't that great of a bounce either. I tried to actually short that bounce. I wasn't really in love with the trade. The volume was poor. I wasn't getting sell signals. I didn't want to, sit through some kind of long, drawn-out nonsense sideways day trade. I think I lost a tick and a half on the trade, and that was it. So now I'm looking for some kind of sell signal. The markets aren't doing much. Just keep your fingers crossed that we do get some kind of a bounce here tonight or in tomorrow morning. You want to try and put a short on into the supply. The 3-year tomorrow, I don't think is going to be a disaster, but I also don't think that there's a ton of short positions in the 3-year. Remember, everybody's long 2-year notes, 3-year notes, 1 years against being short 10s and 30s here as the curve has steepened the last couple weeks, week and a half. I don't think there's a huge short position in the 3-year note to give us a great auction. I do think they're going to have to knock the markets back down to get the auction to go off. Game plan, set, match. Alright, I think that's it. Have a great night. I'll see you tomorrow. If I see anything overnight, I'll try to throw it up in the Twitter feed, guys. If you guys are catching this on the public YouTube channel, we'll come on into Hamzei Analytics and sign up. Give us a shot. You know, we have a lot of great contributors in the chat room, a lot of old trading pros, and a lot of real good information in there. Come and join the community is what I'm trying to say, guys. Have a great night.